Okay, here we are, Matthew Russell Lee, Inner City Press, here at the Southern District of New York Courthouse. Today, Friday, September 5th, 2025. Now, yesterday, as promised, we covered one of the civil cases against Sean Combs here in the SDNY. This one was initially Jane Doe, now it's Anna Kane. And unlike other cases which have been stayed as the Second Circuit considers this Doe versus Black and other issues involving the look-back provisions of state and city law, it looks like Judge Clark might not stay this one. She suggested that some discovery should go forward, in part because among the defendants is a third assailant, thus far unidentified, and they want to do discovery to find out who this third assailant was. Now, the lawyers for Sean Combs that represent him in all the civil cases said that this case is already stale. It was 2003. Nothing's going to change if you stay it. There's also a co-defendant, Harv Pierre, that he's can't afford really to defend himself, and therefore he should get a stay. I can imagine a situation in which he gets a stay of discovery and Combs doesn't, but she didn't rule yesterday, and we live tweeted it, and you can find it. It can be found. Then we went to state court, and this was we stumbled on this trial that's upcoming of a guy called Ortiz, who was shown in a video, the prosecutors say, with a knife, and his PO officer, his parole officer, said that's him, but you couldn't really see. And the question is, can the parole officer testify at trial? Judge Caro, and this is the reason I'm raising this item, Judge Caro, Gregory Caro, said that he can after a long hearing. Gregory Caro, of course, is the New York State judge that has the Luigi case. So people have perceived him as being very pro-defense. I'm over there more and more. This was a pro-prosecution ruling. It may be the right ruling. There's a state case called Mosley. The only question is, with videos like that, shouldn't the jury just look at the video and look at the person? The thing is that the guy, Ortiz, has changed over time. He's gotten heavier. He's grown a beard that covers up his neck tats. It's an interesting case, and we're going to stay all over it. While we were there, believe it or not, we covered the case of Garcia, Emilio Garcia versus Roc Nation and Megan Thee Stallion, also known as Miss Pete. We've covered it before. It involves some nasty SUV driving with action in the back seat and some fat shaming. The case is going forward. There's going to be motion to dismiss, didn't happen, and so now there are motions for summary judgment. And the judge said you really might want to consider settling it. I want to be clear. He didn't say there's merit, you must settle. It's something that judges say, but he did lay it on pretty strong. So you can find that thread. We did that one. Now on the sad and increasingly sometimes sad, yesterday we covered an immigration sentencing of a woman who, facing her own immigration problems, made apparently has pled guilty to oral threats to blow up 26 Federal Plaza. Now she took it back, and she was being allowed to plead guilty to a misdemeanor. But this is because once she pled guilty and was given time served, she would be deported. In yesterday's proceeding, of which no one else was covering, surprisingly, there were ICE and HSI ICE agents in the courtroom ready to deport. But the federal defender and, to some degree, the judge came up with a different strategy, which was to postpone sentencing so that nothing could happen and to release her on bond. Now, release her on bond, but ICE was waiting. So the idea was like, ICE cannot remove her from SDNY or EDNY until she's sentenced, and the sentencing has been pushed back. The sentencing could be pushed back again. I don't know where it's all going. And what I will say is I'm going in now to cover two immigration-related identity proceedings. One is, I guess, straightforward. The person saying, it ain't me, babe. The other one, though, involves someone who wants to plead guilty to a misdemeanor in order not to be sent back to the District of Texas for illegal reentry and be deported. So there are all these moving parts, and they're interesting. Also interesting is the United Nations. We're banned from going in, but we keep getting scoops, including a really nasty one today about a former official of Antonio Guterres in Mali having sex with an underling in the office during the COVID-19 and now running for higher office within the UN. We're going to ask the spokespeople first, but when, as I could predict, they refuse to answer because they think they can stop coverage by throwing you out and not answering your questions, this story is going to run because these sources have been incredibly trustworthy in the past, and the United Nations needs to be reformed and thinks that it can just censor its way out of it. It can't. If this is let's do two more things. On the New York City mayoral front, Jim Walden, we hardly knew ye. Although we did cover him once on Union Square. He's dropping out. Is Eric Adams going to drop out? Curtis Sliwa, what job would he take? So I don't know, but we're covering that. And we're also covering this whole Trump, fast boat bombshell, and the recent report that Venezuela flew some fighter jets over a U.S. battleship. There may have to be a vlog over the weekend, but until then, have a good weekend.